vehicles move -1 spaces, -1 units. So called spaces. Each space has a terrain type and may consist of unique features that can be controlled for a benefit, and multiple features cannot take up the same space. There are 5 kinds of terrain on the battlefield the battlefield can be composed of: safe, rough, dangerous, hazardous, and deadly. Move -1 spaces. Vehicles lose 1 mobility. Vehicles move at -2 speed. Vehicles move at -2 speed. Treads and transmission take 1 damage. 1 damage for every move. 1 damage for every turn on it. For every turn moving on the terrain. Hazardous terrain. Vehicles move at -3 speed. Infantry move at -1 speed. Treads and transmission take 2 damage for every turn moving on this terrain. And finally, vehicles move at -6 speed. Infantry move at -2 speed. Treads and transmission take 4 damage for every turn moving on this terrain. You know what? No. I'm gonna scrap this. I'm gonna keep these sections, but the terrain types, I'm going to scrap. And we're gonna go and consult Hearts of Iron. Hearts of Iron. So, rest of you have deserts, forest, hills, jungle, marsh, mountain, plains, urban, lakes. Actually, no, not lakes. Base terrain types. Terrain features. Actually, terrain infrastructure. Let's see, we were looking at highways, roads, paths, is. No roads. Terrain features. Okay, there we go. Actually, Tanko forests they have a problem in. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Defense. Urban. Pretty much it's just urban. Everyone takes big issues if you're... And then if your movement... Anywhere bar planes, your... No, glorious bicycle battalions. Bicycle battalions only. Okay. Easy enough to understand. So, basic terrain types, terrain infrastructure, terrain hostility. Safe, dangerous, hazardous, deadly, suicidal. Yeah, actually, no. So, the space is a desert. Desolate and flat. Let's still... Actually, tanks on sand. Deserts. No movement. God, I keep hitting the edit button. I don't want to hit the edit button. Okay, nothing there. Tanks in Africa. Yeah, we're not going to really worry about desert. Space is desert, desolate, flat, but still difficult. Desolate and flat. Giving no bonuses or penalties outside the complete lack of cover. Forest is a forested. Difficult to fully maneuver through the tank. All movement is reduced by 2. And we're going to have to put mechanics on top of this thing. All movement is reduced by 2. All checks, all driving checks are at a +5. Target number are at all driving checks have a +10 to the target number. Next, +5 have a -5 penalty. And all gunner checks have a -5 penalty. This is everyone in the forest. Actually, if we do this... Alright. Yeah. So... no bonus, no penalty, no cover. No bonus, no penalty. All movement is reduced by 2. No bonus / penalty. Driving checks are made at a negative. Oh, negative 5. 5 while inside the space. Gunner checks to hit a target in a forest space are at a negative 5 penalty. Hills. Rolling hills and rolling hills makes for suitable cover and light, and the ability to break line of sight. With these, but what the terrain makes it difficult to traverse. All movement is reduced by 1. That's pretty much it. Hills just make things a little bit more difficult too. Actually, right, a field space. It's considered concealed. They have not been spotted. A crew inside a forest space is considered concealed if they have not been spotted. Thick, deadly, hot, and uncomfortable. A jungle is no place for the weak of heart and constitution. All movement is reduced by 3. Driving checks have a negative 7 penalty. While inside the space. All gunner checks to hit a target in a jungle space are at a negative 7 penalty. A crew inside a jungle space is considered concealed if they have not been spotted. Pretty much jungles are just worse forests. They're just not fun to bite in. And they shouldn't be because they're jungles. Marsh. Wet. Wetlands are always a problem. Tanks or any heavy vehicles, as they can often get stuck in the ground, or worse, become exposed. Not to enemy fire. All movement is reduced by 2. A failed driving check. Like it has the tank be immobilized until the driver can pass a target number 15 driving check. Driving plus operations check. Doesn't seem that intimidating. Just if you ever fail one, you're going to be stuck in it. Doesn't matter what driving check it is, you're just going to get stuck in this wetland, which really sucks if you have to get away from someone and suddenly you're immobile. Cliffs and dangerous drops. A mountain space is home to thin air and hazardous conditions for tank, infantry, and civilian alike. All movement is reduced by 4. Yeah, don't drive in mountains. Because, again, everyone's just moving very slowly in mountains. And it's very, not very fun to deal with if you get stuck in there. Because things like super heavy tanks or heavy tanks aren't really designed to go through mountains. And if you get stuck in them, it's like, well, we're not going anywhere fast. Plans. Tanks... Move without issue and maneuver without problem. A tanker's dream. No bonuses. No bonus / penalty. Urban. Inside the tightly packed cityscapes of the world lie the concrete jungles. Jungles that force tankers to maneuver down, kill round. Maneuver down choke points, kill streets, and a variety of other booby trap sections. So, kill streets. No bonus / penalty. Actually, only move 1 space every turn, regardless of speed. You may still maintain the speed, but the thing is, you're maneuvering street to street then, and that's slow, to say the least, because you're not going the speed of sound. You are very methodical, very slow. You have to move from corner to corner, block by block. So kind of being stuck in an urban environment, not very fun for anyone involved. You know, urban tank combat is not advised. Superior roads for a superior time. Actually, I'm going to take out urban. They're going to get their own section, I think, just because urban combat's so strange. Superior roads for a superior town. All vehicles increase their speed by 2. All vehicles increase their speed by 1. Actually, I'm going to bump this up to 3, 2. All vehicles increase their speed by 1. No room, no bonus, no penalty. Well-used roads of the countryside or in towns. Not perfectly suited for the treads of a tanker, but good enough. Dirt paths, gravel roads, and and backcountry. Farmer shortcuts make for good traveling. Make for dangerous traveling in a car, but solid for a tank. No roads. Who needs roads when you have treads? And then terrain hostility. The area is safe for traversal. Maybe not the best suited. Maybe not the best suited for traveling. But no harm will come of it. Dangerous. The area has some problems, bumps, or spikes that make traversing the area difficult. Yeah, and problematic for tankers. Hazardous. The area is a death trap. No, that'll be give me 1 second. Hazardous, we're going down to deadly. The area, it is a death trap for tankers. It'll kill your tank, it'll kill the tank, then kill the crew. The area is the bane of tanks. Wear and tear are common and will probably cripple the vehicle if on for too long. -2, actually -3, no, -2 transmission / tread damage every turn. -1 transmission / tread damage every turn. And deadly, -4 transmission / tread damage every turn. So that's heading 2. We want to make you heading 3 then. Select everything here. Control Shift 8. Constitution, movement, jungle. Hello, phone. What do you need? You're dinging at me. Remind me later. Oh. I should put vehicle movement, shouldn't I? Vehicle movement. Highways, roads, paths. Certain spaces allow thing to become concealed. While concealed, the tank may not be targeted by enemy tankers, and their first shot against an enemy is considered enemy has a +2 to hit them. Actually, by enemy crews, the first shot against them has a +2 to hit them. And now we get to change the example features. So, bunker. Barn. The crew, actually, farmstead. The crew has seized control of a local farmstead, abandoned and nearly destroyed. Bar its barn. A crew is considered concealed if they have not been spotted. They have not been spotted and are in the space. Actually, I should scroll all the way up. Tanks may be spotted if they are within 3 spaces of another tanker, another crew, within sight of an infantry squad, of an enemy infantry squad. Or have been discovered with an aerial flyby. Oh, I knew I forgot one. Forest. Not spotted by my aerial flybys. My aerial flybys. Bunker. The crew has cleared a bunker, allowing an infantry squad to inhabit it. They receive a +5 to their combat rating as long as they hold the bunker. As long as they are in the bunker. Airfield. The crew has rolled into an airfield controlled. Rolled into an airfield. Whatever planes haven't scattered on the approach are at the mercy of the crew, in addition to allowing friendly air support a new place to land. What's another good one? Overwatch Point has found a hideaway. That represents a clear view of the battlefield. They spot all enemies within a 6 space radius around them, as long as they hold the point. Battlefield size and dimension. Ability to move freely, maneuver around enemies and such. But I understand clear-based commandments got popular, so I'm deliberately making judgment call on how dimensions we choose should be simply the rough size. A space should be around 1 acre. A space is around 1 acre. Short amount of time, but large enough for soldiers to die on. Would be around 15 by 15 acre, while larger ones can be upwards of 20 by 20. All the way to around 30 by 30. However, the larger the area, the larger the amount of ground that must be covered. Upwards of 10. little example map here. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to write the side note. Side note. Actually, no. I'm gonna write in a urban combat. And, you know, urban combat and the crew. Urban combat in. Actually, I'm going to urban tank combat. Paper city is either ludicrous or ingenious, however, I'm clear what opinions going held down is no longer available. What were other tactics of tanks versus anti-armor, other tanks in urban combat? Where infantry played a major role in keeping tanks from blowing up, but anything else? It's you said. Okay. Urban combat for. Actually, I'm gonna make the side note. Side note: urban combat and the crew. Urban tank for tanks is a pretty various subject. As being in the claustrophobic city is usually a death sentence for tankers. Being funneled down kill streets. Rooftop ambushes. And a great deal of other horrible fates. Oh wait, those who don't use their infantry in combat, who don't use their infantry to save themselves. Tanks operate as a mobile platform in a cityscape. They're supposed to support and assist infantry by destroying key targets and protecting them when need be. When characters and the crew engage or forced into an urban combat situation, bear this in mind. Maneuvering is harder, and every block counts. Have them rely on their infantry support, and make sure that infantry support, and make sure they are protected from exterior threats. I'm going to reduce the size of you down. Zoom out a little bit. we go. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to sit dice. Google Docs, please. And why it sucks to be in a tank, why it sucks to be in a tank. This will always be the great bummer in my life, you know, learning that being in a tank isn't actually all that cool and actually kind of deadly. I think everyone always is just like, yeah, tank battle. I'm like, yeah. I was raised on mechs, unfortunately. I'm just like, yeah, they're like Gundams except with treads. Yeah, awesome. They're not. They're... Yeah, exactly. No, tanks are awesome. I love tanks. They're cool. Except, like, anything revolving around tanks always seem to go poorly. It's like, okay. You get hit in the back wrong, you explode. You get hit to the side, you get crippled and then explode. It's like, damn it. And urban combat's even worse because everything can and will kill you there. It's like, no. Why can't we all just get along and be cool with each other? Yeah, I think my one place to really understand why tanks kind of suck to be in is Fury. Actually, that movie, where they get ambushed, just watching like, look at these two and they're dead, and they're dead. How easy it is to die in, again, the titular Iron Casket. Alright, so we've got that done. I have something right in my throat. It's going to drive me nuts. Here's my god-awful chair sounds. I grab another bottle of water. Also, thank you for the follow, Mr. Sir Wolpertinger, even though I kind of know who you are already. Even though I think you already followed me before and just want to make me feel good about myself, but I'm okay with that. God, I wish it was that easy. This is just like one part of it. I usually end up going in my long-winded rants, but these are all the things I've written over time. It's just madness. But my next project after this one is not actually going to be a role-playing game. A little taste of the future. Anyone curious? I'm going to see if I can't design a board game. I know how to do it, and I know where I'm going to and what I'm going to base it off of. It's just I've got the mechanics done. The only issue is that there's just a lot of little ones, so I'm going to have to reduce that down. And outside of that, I think the hard part's just going to be like making, because there's going to have to be cards. That's going to be the hard part to do, is just making them. I know how to do it. It's just a time-consuming process. And I know the second I start doing it, I'm going to inevitably, the guy who I'm basing it off of is going to show up and yell at me, and it's going to be great. I'm going to piss off internet people because I am evil. Let's see. So we're going to have to fold that into the campaign section. Okay, urban combat and the crew. Field of Chaos, the battlefield. Yeah, right here. Okay, we're going through the campaign now. It's I don't think it's going to be that bad, to be perfectly honest. Let's see the campaign. War is hell. Hell is beautiful. No. Trying to think of something suitably, grim to put here. The campaign. Heavy armored warfare. So I'm just going to do a double check on a few. See, unfortunately, the site I usually consult for a bunch of things, good old 1D4chan, is dead. Yeah, 1D4chan is dead, which sucks, and makes finding a lot of little stuff like that I was needing a little bit more complicated. Let me see. Do I have my... Let's take a look at my perfectly legal book things of legal things. We don't know yet. This happened like yesterday, I think. And the site just went completely down. Everyone was kind of worried that everything was lost. Because that's kind of... 1D4chan is the like archive of TG. Well, old TG, that is. And... no one quite knows what it is yet. Some people are saying it's DDoS, like someone actually deliberately tried to take the site down. Others just say, server infrastructure got fugged and, everything fell in. One other conspiracy theory is that someone finally found some of the things on there and shut it down, pretty much DMCA'd it. And the people hosting kind of had to comply with it, so they killed the entire site rather than... kind of cherry pick the exact place that was the problem. We don't know yet. And the technical owner of it's working on fixing it very slowly. As I think it's only a few guys who really manage it. So we want to go here. We want to go to science fiction. Where is my Warhammer 40k? Only war. Do I not have this? Oh, no, yes, I do. So, let's slowly open this, because this is a thick book. Because effectively, regiment creation is going to be kind of a fundamental concept in this game. And, okay, so we're going to start. So what I'm going to do is going to go here. We're going to window capture 2. Now to paint.net. We're going to go click here. There we go. Ta-da! So this is only War, one of the 40k RPGs that came out a while ago now. God, how old is this game? It's pretty old, I know that much. So, Cadian, Shock Troopers, Katachan, Death Corps Krieg. No, don't care. Okay, there we go. Creating a regiment. I'm not looking for this. I do not care. Not care at all. Commanding officer. This is what we're looking for. So, roughly speaking, we're going to have to deal with our overall commanding officer. Actually, Erwin Rommel, General. Das General. Actually, God, who controls a regiment? You can see that I totally planned this section ahead and definitely know what I'm doing here. So, tank battalion. Tank company size. That's 3 platoons of 4 tanks each. So, effectively, the players, this is from my own notes, the players are a tank platoon, which are part of a tank company, which in turn is part of a tank battalion, and tank regiment. Yeah, that would be the regiment, the tank regiment. What is the size of the Africa Corps? How big was it? Tell me the size of the Africa Corps. Yeah, pretty much. Now, what I would normally do in this situation is I'd steal from one of my other games, Hearts of Darkness, which dealt with these sizes of fighting forces. However, I can't really do that because tank ones are composed a little bit different than infantry ones. Because tanks, obviously, you have fewer tanks per section. You don't have like 3 dudes. But each tank also has more people in it. And you have your HQ, and I learned a lot about tanks with this game. And I understand how people can get really autistic over tanks, just because there's so fucking many of them. Size core. Okay, how big is... So a core is 30... So, the Africa Corps, armored divisions. So if we look at a division, so a tank division, armored divisions. Okay, so we want to do a core then. So effectively, in Hearts of Darkness, we went up to here, to a battalion. That was kind of like your largest size. So we are actually going up 2 steps entirely. Like, this is like a pretty massive force, because this is... A tank platoon is like 5 tanks. Your tank battalion, a tank regiment's about 40 plus tanks. And then a corps is multiple, it's a few regiments, plus infantry regiments, plus that. Oh god, my head hurts from just thinking about that. Yeah, the scale of this is getting a lot bigger than I was hoping. Actually, if I really wanted to, I could scale it back to the regiment. So we build the regiment, and in turn we build the regiment, which is part of the corps. So you want regimental prestige. So the goal is to get regimental prestige, so you can get more goodies from your corps. So you can call in more support for your specific... Okay, I think I've got it. And so if we're dealing with a brigadier general or a colonel... Okay. So overall, you're going to have to build the brigadier general / colonel, colonel, blech, colonel. Do you like the word colonel? What's a brigadier general? Let me just double check. Senior rank in the arms, 4 lower rank general officer, general officer, sitting colonel. I know of 6. Okay. So effectively, colonel or brigadier general. I'm gonna call him the brigadier. Oh god. Yeah. Colonel. Yeah. Welcome to military rankings, and it's yeah. Military stuff is such a pain in the ass. Again, I understand how people can like memorize this stuff like one for one. It's sometimes just getting everything from point A to point B to point C sometimes get a little bit confusing, to say the least. As there's just you can get 5 different terms for this exact same thing, or you can get one term that describes 5 things, or 5 terms describe one thing, or you get 3 terms describe a bunch of different other things that may or may not intersect, and we're not even dealing with different, officer ratings. Like, I've been having to use NATO command more than anything, just because NATO is kind of like the general or the UN ones. It's just like, Make it end. I want off the ride. And this isn't even going over the fact that there's some countries that have different values for different sections. So you may see, oh, you're a colonel in this country, but you're roughly equivalent to this completely different ranking in another country. But you just use the same names because fuck me, I guess. So, yeah. Rant over. The rant's not going to be over until this entire game is done. But now we know what we're going to have to stat out our heavy armored warfare, the regiment. The regiment is Regiment acts as the players, as the crew's anchors. It's organized, and makes sense. Hierarchies are present. Orders are given. And soldiers have names and faces. Outside of the regiment, on the battlefield, the only people you can trust are your crew and your tank. When designing a regiment, the regiment also reflects its commander. The person in charge of them, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. The regiment also reflects its commander, the person in charge of them, and their resources. While the general of the entire force is too far above the average tanker, their colonel, brigadier, general, or CO, someone they know and understand. When starting a campaign, determining who the commander of the regiment is will determine certain bonuses and penalties that the regiment has to deal with. Commander creation. Panzer. Guerrillas und Panzer. Panzer Commander? No, Panzer Corps. Panzer Corps 2 Wiki. I think I've said Panzer too much in this entire process. It's like, when in doubt, Panzer. Where are we going? Panzer Corps. What's this? Panzer. Panzer. Alright, so commander traits. So what we're going to have to do is effectively adopt various commander traits. And we're going to commander creation. The players will communally design. When designing the commander, the players may the War Master may opt to have the players communally design one, or they may design one person. Following section is the various positives, negatives, traits, and problems the commander has to deal with. The commander has, and in turn the characters have to deal with. And we're infantry general. And also, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Yeah, I'm randomly saying words at this point because that's usually how I best think overall. It's my process of thinking is it's easier for me to do that than to kind of just enunciate every single point I'm doing in a very detailed fashion. Infantry. There's double the number start. Actually, the regiment's infantry has +2 combat rating. Regiment's tanks have +1 hard points. Industry connections. Actually, the regiment's tank crews start with +2 skills with an additional +2 skills. Industry. The regiment's tanks have +1 hard point, have +1 hard points, so you can improve your deep recon. All the units have a +1 to their sight range. Operational initiative. +4 to +2 tactics on their first turn. Master of Blitz. Units have +1 mobility. Vehicle units. Tankers have +1 mobility. Battle Academy. All tank commanders start with +2 attributes, +2 attribute points. Auxiliary force And call in infantry support at the target. Can call in infantry support. Trophies of war, double capture equipment prestige when enemy units surrender. Increase experience gained by killing vehicles by +1. Flexible command split units not take unit slots. Units can split and merge in limited number of times per turn. Oh, ding ding. There's the ding ding, everyone. That's my phone ringing. Probably going to have to bail here soon. Okay, probably going to have to leave here soon. So I'm going to try to get this section done. And tomorrow we'll most likely start again on getting our commander creation. I'll probably get all of these done and add a few more in. I think it'll be a fairly, I wouldn't say easy process, but it'll be a simple process to do, as I just need to make things go 1 to 1 to 1. And I'm most likely just going to do a balanced approach to things. With probably just a 1 positive or something like that. And what I mean by that is you can take 1 positive thing right off the bat, but if you want to be, super cool and awesome and have everyone love you, I can take infantry general and panzer general, but I have to take a negative. Or I can take infantry general, panzer general, deep recon, but I have to take 2 penalties. So that'll hopefully even things out. That's my goal, at least. Well, thank you all for watching. Inevitably, and I hope you all had fun listening to me ramble about tanks and panzers. And I will continue this tomorrow, as I said. Hopefully I can start streaming a little bit earlier. I have been a potato recently, though, so I haven't really been able to, because you guessed it, quarantine's killing us all, especially me. So, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your time. This will be uploaded on YouTube, hopefully by next week. That's my goal there, to get that. I have all the Fist of Chaos stuff ready. I just need to get everything set up there to make things nice and pretty. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a Notepad add-on at YouTube. You know how to Google it. And feel free to leave a follow in case you actually like listening to me talk to myself, or you're a masochist, or you're one of my friends whom I'm forcing to follow me to boost my numbers up. Because, hey, guess what? I'm cheating the system, yo. Give me them simp bucks. Alright, bye everyone.